Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the incredible Lego store that is located on Sentosa Island in Singapore. Now, this is a very, very impressive store. It was one of the largest stores in Asia up until recently, which was last year, I do believe. It got overtaken. Now, the fascia of this is a double door. It is a beautiful looking thing, and it is just next door to Universal Studios in Singapore. So it is on all of their walkway. You literally walk up a flight of stairs and you basically see this first from where you get dropped off by all your Ubers and things like that. And then you can go off and explore the rest of the theme park. Now, I have not slowed this video down at all. So if certain bits are a little bit quick, I do apologize. But I was in here just over 20 minutes just walking around the store and seeing all the little bits and pieces. Now, if the name of the store rings a bell, yes, this does have the most incredible custom display on the inside of the middle of the Lego store. So that's where you might have to start pausing some bits and pieces. And if I can, that's the bit that I might try and slow down. As you can see it just on there, where it is a double level city with the underwater way around it as well. It is extremely impressive. Now, the date of this being filmed was just before a lot of the new Lego sets came out. Now, I went to 5 or 6 different Lego stores on my travels, and every single store, the new Super Mario Kart set had completely sold out. But you can see just how big this store is. Now, there was a little roller just down on there, a little construction roller, and that is something I should have picked up and I forgot to pick up. So I do actually need to add that to the collection. And at the time of this being doing the voiceover, the brand new bulldozer has just come out, so that is currently also not on the shelf as well. So they were extremely well stocked. There is some older bits and pieces in this store and some of the bits and pieces that have been discontinued, but this video was done at the end of May in 2025. Now, the selection of Ninjago is incredible, as it always is. You can see they've got every single type of dragon. You've got all of the larger sort of Ninjago sets as well. Now, in one of the stores in Manila, they actually had all 3 of the large Lego sets all side by side, including the gardens that had obviously been discontinued. Now, this I thought was a really nice display because it puts into perspective just how big that dragon actually is. Now, as we come over, you can see we've got all the different Minecraft bits and pieces, which do look very, very smart indeed. Like I said, just pause it on anything that you need to pause it on. I do slow down in a minute or so because I just wanted to get these bits and pieces filmed before I thought the store was going to get nice and busy. And as it happened, it was an extremely quiet day. So these are all the Super Mario bits and pieces you can see. So that is the Donkey Kong exclusive to the actual Lego store. I think it's exclusive on Amazon as well. That, as you can see, is out of stock here, and it was out of stock absolutely everywhere else. And of course, it went straight onto back order on the UK Lego website. So the fact that it is so popular, it means maybe we might get one of those a year, which would be very, very nice. Now, obviously, they take a long time to plan those kind of things, but I would quite like another one of those to go with it. It would be interesting to see how it scales with everything else. I know they are pretty big, but I have made space in my Super Mario section of the theme park that I'm currently doing in my own display. Now, this is also a very, very popular thing, which is the start line. Now, this is the first time I've actually seen this built up as well, and it is an impressive looking thing, and it is rather large. Now, this finally managed to get around to this bit, and I did a full clear sweep. I was just waiting for this to be completely clear, and I managed to get all the way around it. Now, this is basically a blink and you miss. There is lots and lots of detail on here. You can see you've got all the water, you've got the legs that have been taken off, so it looks like they're swimming. Then you've got all of the other famous bits and pieces from Singapore. They've just basically made the whole of Sentosa Island up top. Then you've got all of the water bits and pieces underneath. But there are some Easter eggs in there. So you've got the Green Goblin there with Spidey shooting around, being chased on the cars. And then you can see you've got the monorail, which is the way that you get in. And then you've got all of this beautiful walkway. And of course, they've made their own Lego store because that is where this Lego store is located, just as you come in. And then you've got the big Universal just after it. There's all the different eateries. You've got all the big walkways and all the lighting and everything like that dotted around. And then they've made their own variation of a boat because that is actually an area that you can go and eat, and you can have like a 3-course meal over there. They've got the cable car as well. That is something else that you can actually do on the island. And again, with the luge, which is an incredible experience with the go-karts, where you go for about a 700-meter drop from the top, shooting all the way down over 4 different courses. that is a video that will be coming to the Global Life Travels channel. So obviously we've got the Lego channel here, and then all of the traveling bits and pieces with regards to all the adventures, hotels, and everything like that. That is actually on a separate YouTube channel. So if you're into the travel side of things, then head over to Global Life Travels, and you will see all these different bits and pieces in non-Lego form. Now, the beach walked across as well, and obviously you can see what they've used. In the beach, they've used some almost customized Super Mario sets there just at the front, and then you've got these beautiful tiles. That's what I mean about how they take the legs off. You can see they've got all the different layering and things like that with the water as well. I could have spent about half an hour just looking at this, but I wanted to try and get round and do a clean sweep without stopping on both. And of course, I'm just using a GoPro camera, which was holding on for dear life at the time of this being filmed. It got damaged twice on the trip, full of water, and the fact that it managed to revive itself. Now, this is something I am going to copy. They have done the pirate ship boat. They've split up, as you can see, over all of the sand, and then there is another boat that it's had a battle with. I am going to steal that idea for my pirate section of the theme park. I was in the process of building it all back up, and obviously those three chunks can be fully complete, but I think I am actually going to have it tipped over and make it more of a battleground scene and figure out how I can put some paths and things around it. So there is a much larger future expansion basically between now and Christmas going to be going on within our theme park section for the pirate side of stuff, and I am going to be copying that because I thought that was a really, really nice touch. Now, all of this obviously is all of the underwater sets that you can get, and you've got them all raised up on the cylinder tubes, and again, they do look very, very impressive indeed. I do need to get a good amount of cylinder tubes there, but there's all of the minifigures in there. You can see some of the Disney princesses in there, and then you've got a lot of the other sets going on as well. But I know I am walking around quite quickly, but if I slowed this down, well, the video would be about 45 minutes long. So if I went half pace rather than just walking pace, you would be getting, well, basically close to 45 minutes. But I do go back because I did see miss some bits and pieces. Huge whale just underneath there. You can see you've got all the crabs and all the other little bits and pieces. You've got some dolphins and all that kind of thing just under there, which again I think does look very, very smart and impressive. Now, obviously, we've seen this once already because I was lucky enough to come to this store once before, but I still think it is one of the most beautiful in-store Lego displays in any of the Lego stores that I have seen, including the Legoland parks, because some of the Legoland parks, say, for example, over in America, they do have very nice displays, but just nothing that extreme. So you can see just how much space it takes up in the shop, and it is a fantastic photo opportunity. Now, this is obviously at the time where they are really pushing all of the Formula One bits and pieces. There's lots and lots of sets out and about for the Formula One, and you'll see that with a couple of the other Lego store videos that are going to be coming soon. There's lots of different bits and pieces that we can do and take a look at and all that kind of thing. It does look very impressive with regards to just the Super Mario things. So again, you can see if you want to complete them all, just how large it is. And of course, they come with all of the bananas. There is lots and lots of bits and pieces that you can add on there and do all your go-kart bits and bobs. And that is something that I am going to be doing with my Super Mario display. I am going to have a Super Mario display mixed in, shall I say, with the luge. So it's almost going to be a free fall go-karting track in my theme park display. That is something that I am going to be tempted to do. I am going to do. I've just got to try it and attempt to do it. So you can see you've got all the different Marvel bits and pieces there. Comes with all of the different Lego minifigures that are included. Some of them look great. Some of them aren't so strong. So I don't know what they're doing at the moment with all the different Marvel bits and pieces. But now we're going to be going into a new phase for Marvel. It will be quite interesting to see all of those little bits and pieces of everything that is going on. Now, what I am going to do, because it's annoyed me that I didn't slow it down, is at the end of this video, I'm going to re-add in the footage of us going around those different bits and pieces, and I'm just going to slow it down, and then we can see what it is we can spot, because I know I'm going to regret it, because I'm going to watch it back on a big telly to make sure it works, and we're just walking around the store far too quickly. But it is a very, very big store, as you can see. And the fact that it is so quiet, it was perfect because this is right beside the Universal. Everybody goes to the Universal gates first. And then, of course, when the Universal gates close, well, everybody comes torpedoing in here. It's exactly the same as trying to get into the Legoland Lego store as the theme park starts to close, it is very, very busy. But another thing that I do like about this store is they have lots of these big displays. Now, Jurassic Park over here is a huge thing over at the Gardens by the Bay, which is a video that is already uploaded. So if you wanted to check that out, there is a full walkthrough of a Jurassic Park. And again, in each of the Lego stores around these parts, they have huge custom mosaics like this. Now, they do this at all three Lego stores. Yes, three Lego stores at the airport, and they have got these dotted all over the place as well. And it makes you want to go to all of the other Lego stores just to see what they are like. Now, obviously, over in the UK, we have nice size stores. A lot of them are quite narrow and long. They haven't gone for the more wide approach like this one, which I wish they would do, because I much prefer a sort of a wider and not so deep store rather than just walking all the way to the back, because you end up feeling like you're trapped and then you've got a huge long corridor of bits and pieces, whereas this is all spread out. But at the same time, the wider store, well, it allows you to do different bits and pieces like this as well. And again, you've got a mix of stuff from Gardens by the Bay, Sentosa, basically all of the tourist attractions that you can do. And I have done, but obviously because it's not in Lego form, it's going on to the Global Life Travels channel. And again, just check all of those bits and pieces out from, well, basically all the stuff that we've done on this trip. Now you can see again with the lighting, they're the big Lego bricks, which do look very, very clean and very, very smart. And they have got a huge Duplo section as well. And of course, all of the Lego 3-in-1 and the classic sets as well. Good selection of Disney bits and pieces, as you can see. They seem to have everything at every single store that I went to, because even the smaller stores, what they had done is they had alternated the boxes. So they had, say, for example, two Disney sets on the same scale. It'd be one of one, and so on and so forth. And then with the Marvel bits and pieces, there might have been four boxes deep, but all four boxes were different, which I don't think we do that over in the UK. They do have, obviously, in all of the Lego stores, big stock rooms. So if there are bits and pieces that aren't out on the shelf, if you just ask them, then they will obviously find those bits and pieces out back. But all of the sets were really easy to find here. Now, this is the first time me seeing the new ship, the Boba Fett ship, in person, and it does look very, very good indeed. I just said Boba Fett, and we all know it's not. It's the Jango Fett ship, so I'll correct myself on that one, because it does look great with the blue, and it has got a slight lean on. But again, I think I know where I can add that into my own theme park display. So maybe that might be coming by the end of the year. But I want to get the Super Mario sets in and done first. Then I'm going to work on the Jurassic Park section, because of the sort of inspiration that I got given by Gardens by the Bay. There's lots of different bits and pieces that can be done just there. And then, well, we'll see what the rest of 2025 has to offer. Now, again, with this being such a big store, they have a great selection of BAM, and they also have a great selection of Pick-a-Brick, and we will be taking a short look at that before this video ends. And like I said, it was 22 minutes and 40 seconds, I do believe, of me walking around at this pace. But now it's obviously going to change, because I will add in the bit in the middle just a lot slower once we see the outside of the store. And I'll carry on with the voiceover, and we'll basically see what we can spot, because I will just put it down to half pace. Now, because you walk around and zigzag around, you end up missing some different bits and pieces, because I was just so excited to see everything again. Good selection of Harry Potter. They've got a good selection of the Despicable Me, I think that is. That's the third film, which they do obviously have the rides at Universal Studios. There's a huge land of that just open now. So if you are a Minion fan, well, there's lots and lots of videos coming up, which I think you're going to be enjoying on the other channel. That does look very, very smart in person. I am tempted to get that just to have that in with my theme park section, because of course, as you're going around on the trains and things, I think that would look quite smart. And they've got all of the Star Wars bits and pieces that you could possibly want as well, going from the big stuff obviously all the way down to the smaller stuff. But the problem is, obviously, is you've got to try and get it back in your suitcase now, because the pound to the Singapore dollar is okay. It would work out that you would save yourself a couple of pounds on the larger set. But then you run the risk of not actually being able to get it in your suitcase. That is the problem of the little bits and pieces. Now, of course, if you were taking off and landing from the same airport, say, for example, you're going from Gatwick, you have got the opportunity to get some bits and pieces from Gatwick and obviously get it duty free. And then you can collect it on the way back through again, and then you save yourself a little bit of money. But that is the only way you can actually do it. You've actually got to buy the stuff before you take off, and then obviously you can pick the stuff back up when you land. So I said there is a rather large selection of different bits and pieces, and then there was this. You've got loads and loads of different colors. You can see just how high it goes up, and it is a full wall of different bits and pieces. At another store that will be coming to the channel sooner rather than later, they actually had a double wall. They had one with all these smaller elements that you can see just here, because you can see just how many of these things there are. And of course, you've got the beautiful Jurassic Park artwork as well. But at the other store, they had the small elements, and then they also had the larger ones as well, which was pretty cool to see. So you could actually get some slightly larger pieces, which is an idea that I've not yet seen before at any of the other Lego stores. So hopefully that might be something that might be rolled out across some of the others, because of course we've got to buy the slightly larger bits and pieces from the Lego website. But I think they would sell quite well in store. But then, of course, you can't get as many in the box, and it's a catch-22, isn't it? So you've got to sort of do what is best for you. Now, at the time again of this being filmed, they hadn't moved on to the cardboard stuff, so they were still with the plastic cups. So I thought the cardboard had been rolled out across the world, but as you can see, they haven't got it here just yet, and they have got some different bits and pieces here that I haven't seen in the UK as well. So it's quite interesting to see how the different Lego stores sort of work across the world. It's and with regards to like the bags and things and all that kind of thing that they use, and how many postcard sets there's dotted around here, where you don't tend to see that at some of the airports. And again, you've got a lot of stuff here that sometimes you can only get from the Legoland stores as well. But because this store is so big, it must be a much higher graded store, so you have a very good selection of all the little bits and pieces. Now, again, I said this at the start of the video, all of the Formula One sets do look very impressive indeed with regards to just how many they had in stock, and the displays that were being done in all of the different Lego parks, the Lego shops, shall I say, dotted around that I saw. They were very, very good. So obviously the contract that they have with F1 at the moment is absolutely enormous, and it'd be very interesting to see next year if they release the same cars again, obviously with slightly different artwork and colors, or will they go to a different genre? Because if they're going to go to a different genre and they're going to sort of keep hopping between, say, for example, they'll drop down to the 2000s and they'll go to the 90s and yada, 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 they will be highly collectible, I would imagine. If they're just going to keep re-releasing the new modern Formula One cars, then obviously the market's just going to be swamped. If you are a huge fan and collector, then obviously there will be some slight tweaks, but it will be very, very interesting to see just how well these Speed Champion sets sell, because I am still on the fence with them, because obviously I have a theme park display and I'm not 100% sure what to do with them. The only thing I am thinking of doing is potentially a Formula One go-kart track. That is the only thing that I can think of, and I'm slowly starting to run out of ideas. That is why I've gone down the Super Mario route instead. But if you have got any of the F1 cars, let me know in the comment section below what you are looking forward to for them to be releasing for next season, because it'd be very, very interesting to see. But again, you can see huge sets up top. You've got the big eyeball, you have got all of the gardens, and then of course you've got the D&D bits and pieces. The floral stuff, all the flowers and things look great on the inside there as well. They do look very, very impressive when they're behind all the plexiglass, and obviously putting all these bits and pieces side by side. They do look very, very good in people's collections. I've said this from day one. They look a little bit weird when you just got one set, but the second you start adding more and more of them together, I think they do look very, very good. And yes, that is a place where the little ones can sit down and the big ones alike. And of course, you can build all of the different bits and pieces. To the left-hand side, they've got every single logo from all of the years of all the Lego bits and pieces. You can then see how tall you are in Lego bricks if you want to. And they've just got a random P1 Technic car just by the window as you start to walk past. And then on this side, you can see you've got just basically a wall of minifigures. And then you have got the map, which I think would be a really nice touch if people used it for where the different Legoland parks were around the world, and you could basically change the stud color of where the shops that you've been to and the different places like that that you have visited. And yes, that is Super Mario going through one of the tunnels just up at the top. And then this is the newer Steamboat Lego Icons Ideas. I think there's an ideas set. I think that one is. With regards to what has just come out. So I know that one came out with the giveaway purchase as well. So obviously that one looks like the giveaway has sold out for that. And then if you want to, you can then get your artwork done. You can see you've got the mosaic maker just in there where you sit down and then you can basically make yourself in Lego form. So we've just got over 2 minutes left of us just sort of panning around, having a look at some of the larger bits and pieces. And then I think we have a look at the external part of the building as well, because again, it does look very, very impressive with regards to just how big a scale the shop is. And then I will re-find the bit in the middle. So you can see build your own minifigure for 3 of them for $16.90. So that is Singapore dollars if you want to do the exchange rate. So you can figure out if it's better or worse with your local currency. And then, like I was about to say, I will re-add in that sort of loop around and I will slow it down to half speed. And we can then just see the different bits and pieces that are included in it, because I know there's lots and lots of hidden Easter eggs that we would have walked by far too quickly. And like I said, I would have just kicked myself in the foot. Again, the window displays here are great. Lots of different offers and lots of information with regards to what's on sale. You can see all the different key rings and all the other little bits and pieces like that. And you have got the Transformers that are on offer, I do believe. And there was some Star Wars bits and bobs. And then you can see that they've also got some brick stores. So they class them as Brick Street or Brick Stores, but they are Lego affiliated bits. I saw one or two of them in the mall, and it has the exact same artwork on the front. So you would just assume that it is a Lego store, but if you start looking at it on Google, it does come up with a slightly different name. And yes, some of these have retired, and all of these were in a sale. So this section here is the last chance, kind of hard to find bits and pieces and stuff that is just in a sale. Because of course, Jaws is current, as is some of those Technic. But then the white Porsche has been and gone for a long, long time. And you can see 25% off selected sets. So it's a good offer. And then these, again, are quite hard to find unless they're in a much larger store, because normally you only get to see some of these at the Legoland parks that are dotted around the world. And of course, that was an extremely popular giveaway and an extremely popular ship that is out. So it'd be interesting to see just how deep they go with regards to those sets in the future. Will we be getting more classic space? Will we be getting more castle bits and pieces? But that is the inside of a huge Lego store in Singapore. Like I said, we are in Sentosa Island. There is loads and loads of different bits and pieces to do. Loads of videos coming from this island, but they are going to be uploaded on the Global Life Travels channel. So you've got all the go-karting stuff. You've got Universal Studios with all regards to the theme park and lots of other adventures that's going on from there. But you can see just how amazing the entrance is to the front of this park. Right, we are now at 50% speed. You can't slow it down anymore because it just judders and it is a right royal pain in the backside. So lots of more things you can see now, especially in the distance. Minifigures are absolutely everywhere. You've got a volleyball court that's going on. You can then see you've got the canoes and all the bits and pieces in the water. The layering of the tiling is also extremely impressive as well. You have got all of the really nice detail and things that are dotted in the road. So you can see you've got the green coming through and obviously through all the concrete. It is just the island. So like I said, it's Sentosa Island. You can see you've got the little digger just there. You've got the front loader with the other little bits and pieces, and all the grass and everything around it does look very, very good indeed. Then you've got the mountaineering bits and pieces for the Sentosa. Just made that word up. And then you have got, as we come through, that is the chase. So the bridge you can actually walk over, or you can see you can drive over as well. And that is something that you can actually just do in real life. Lots and lots of detail to take a look at. So again, just pause it. Hopefully it will still come through cleanly enough. But you have got some minifigures in there. So you've got a big fig just in there, the blue one with the orange beard. What that one is, I'm not too sure. We've got some people running away. You've then, obviously, like I said, have the Lego store, but I didn't see Unikitty on the roof before, and I didn't see the Spring Lantern sets in front of it either. So there's some cool looking things. And you can see you've got the Lego staff in minifigure form. And then we have got the City Burger. So obviously you can stuff your face and you can see you've got all the burgers and pizzas and everything just on there. Just beside that, you have then got a stage with the singer with the blue hair, and you can see I think that's either a sweet corn Or it might be, no, it's a sweet corn. I was about to say the word of the day is banana, but banana, I'm not too sure there's going to be one in there. I can see some popcorn. I do like the fact that they added in I think that might be a friend's boat as a bit of an Easter egg to where the port is, because just from where we are now with this being recorded at this Lego store, if you did walk a little distance and you walk around to where the water park is, because there is a huge water park on Sentosa Island, there is a couple of eateries on the boats. Now, what we are looking at with regards to the height and that sort of cable car ski lift is something I really, really want to do for the Mario. So that's how I think I'm going to have my queue line with regards to getting up to the top. So I've just got to figure out how to do that. So if anybody has any idea whatsoever, then please let me know. But I am basically going to copy what you're seeing just here, either in this form or in more of a ski lift form, because that is what you did for the luge. Now, we are supposed to be looking for different minifigures around the world. You can see you've got the little panda there with the sort of is it the yellow and blue ears that it's got with the pink face? So there are some CMF minifigures dotted around on here. So like at the Lego house in Billund, well, there's lots of games. You can see you've got the crabs, you've got minifigure taking a suntan in the bottom right-hand corner. You've then got the big pink float thing for the Lego Friends. You've got your photo opportunity that is on the front of the beach. You've got the chef cooking some eggs by the looks of it at the front. And then you have got, again, some more crabs on the road. There's loads and loads of different bits and pieces going on. Like I said, I could have spent a huge amount of time just going around. There's the Monkey Kid minifigure on the climbing frame, which is sort of their sort of makeshift Super Mario bits and pieces. Lots of other CMF minifigures dotted in the middle. You've got some nice shops. You can see the pink slide in the background going around the trees. That's a cool little thing. And then you've got all this really nice walkway with the blue tiling with the white. And then we're coming back into the water. And again, that is something I might try and copy, just with the guys taking the legs off, so it does look like they're just swimming in the water. Then you've got the fire with some other cool little minifigures that are just there. Then you've got the yellow space character just up top. And then there is lots of other detail that is going on with it. So if I ever do come back to this store again in maybe in a couple of years' time, I will just make sure I walk around a lot slower. Because I saw it in person. Obviously, when I start filming, I then just walk around and saw all the different bits and pieces. But when I do it with the camera, it might be a little bit easier just to do it slower rather than slowing it down. So hopefully it's not juddering for you, and hopefully you can see the stuff cleanly enough, because like I said, I do spend hours and hours going around the Lego house and all the other little different bits and pieces to get the footage, but because obviously you're there for a full day, I can't spend a huge amount of time in one place. But lots of detail with regards to this ship. So you can see what I meant about how they've done the ship staggered with the water and the sand and everything around it, and they've taken the pirate flag off and put it on the floor. So it just looks like it's been taken apart because it's lost a battle to the other ship. And I think I am going to copy that with the new Pirates of the Caribbean ship. I think that's going to be part of my ride. I think I'm actually going to use the boat as a bit of theming and the ride as well, outside the front of something that is on the Brink designer program currently. And in a few days' time, I think people are going to get a little bit itchy and start to order those sets. Because I think it's only in a few days that those sets actually do go live. So, like I said, I have a huge under construction pirate section in my Lego theme park display. I've got all the cranes and everything going there. The new bulldozer is going to go in there. And then I'm basically going to set up a display for 5 or 6 months until all those sets are available. And then they'll all get built up over Christmas of 2025. So lots of bits and pieces come on that. And I also want to try and redo this lava technique as well, round the Lord of the Rings eyeball across the base. I want to extend that a little bit more, and I want to put all of the orange on top of the black, because I think that will look very effective indeed. Now, again, you can see you can get these sets. They are available with regards to the Deep Sea Explorer bits and pieces. So the yellow ones, they've been around for ages and ages. Some of them, they were under the Atlantis name, and then now they're under the Explorer name. So we had the Jungle Explorer, we had the Polar Explorer stuff as well, don't forget. But you can get these simple enough. You might have to go backtrack some, but I would imagine they might come back out again at a later date, because it is a huge theme that they have at all of the different Legoland parks around the world, and they do seem to sell quite well. There's the CMF Princess minifigure. You can see that one just there, and you've got all the different octopuses, and you've got loads of different crabs and all the little boats and all the other little bits and pieces that are in there. Lots and lots of detail dotted all around. So obviously you can see just how deep this thing is with regards just to how far back back it goes. It is a really impressive thing to look around and see all the different bits and pieces. And again, with all the layering and everything at the front, whether you've either just thrown it in or obviously plonk them down, you could easily do some bits and pieces like that. But guys, that is it. And I am done. Let me know what you think of this Lego store. There are lots more Lego stores to happen over the rest of 2025. And we are going to start going back to the different Legoland parks around the world. And I will be going back over to Billund as well. So now my health has got a little bit better. I can now start to travel again. So it's not just going to be the Lego room content. We're going to have lots of other travel content for the Lego channel. And of course, over on the Global Life Travels channel, that is where all of the other fun activities will be happening. But if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this store. Have you been here before? Are you going to be coming to Sentosa Island in 2025 or 2026? Let me know, and let me know how much this store changes over the time period of this video being uploaded. But again, one more time, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one.